What do you think the biggest psyop that is going on right now is?
The biggest psyop that's going on right now. Welcome to Station 1.
Yeah, man, show me around. What you got? You're looking at control and manipulation or persuasion. Do they start with how they want people to feel and work their way backwards?
You're the only person that's ever asked me that question.
Do you think the system is correctable from the top down?
Yes. We have more social connection to other people than ever before in history. And we have saddening levels of loneliness around the entire world. And I think I have a theory. So we have a daily news show.
Welcome to Intelligence Brief. Let's get into today's headlines.
Except we go into the psyops of everything. We go through the news, we show how it's all connected, all the little connective tissue that they say that there's 3 separate stories that are actually one big story. And then we show psyops, like here's how it's being presented to you, here's how you are being made to feel about it.
Yeah.
Because nobody ever talks about that.
Take that as a hint that there's some coordinated effort happening behind the scenes.
But we show all the connective tissue, we bring the receipts for everything that we say, and for every single episode that we have, it ends with what to look for in the next 72 hours. So we'll say, like, if a bill gets pushed through Congress at 2 a.m. and it has these 4 words in it, you need to look out for that. I think it was elites, and I don't mean just like the elites we hear about on social media, but I think it was people of extreme wealth saying we need to stay in power, or our ideas need to stay powerful. And one of the things I tell people all the time is if someone needs to be suppressed for an idea to flourish, it's a horrible idea. The more that we get the ability to shine really bright light in really dark places, I think it's going to start self-correcting.
I don't think the government was ever designed to be this big. I'm not so sure it can correct from the top down. I'm not saying I think our system is unsalvageable. I think it might have to be a bottom-up approach, though.
Yeah. So they laid out a plan in this unrestricted warfare book, and what they say is we need to subvert their ideologies as much as possible. So there's like splinter the ideologies to where there's multiple factions, and then use just tons of tribal language and make them start fighting each other, like left versus right, tax the rich, rich versus poor, like every single bracket that we can splinter and divide was the 2 main things. And it's just, man, it's playing out. I don't know, I'm not saying China's involved with all this stuff, but what they wrote in this book is just playing out, and it's terrifying that if you're on the right and you log into social media, you're gonna see the dumbest idiots on the other side possible that you could ever be shown. If you're on the left, it's exactly the same. You're gonna see the dumbest morons that they could ever find, just so you have the one idea of all of them are crazy. All of them are dangerous. And like if you go to Target right now and you see somebody that didn't vote the same way as you, you've got like 90% of what you believe about life, you share in common with those people.
Yeah, if not more.
And I just think it's the output of what's going on in the world, of how social media is evolving. Our communication with each other is evolving, but our fear of judgment is exponentially skyrocketing. And I don't think there's a lot of people behind it, but I think the origin of it, unwittingly, was this guy named Edward Bernays. But he invented psyops. He invented it. But he was like, let's sell more cigarettes, or, get people to eat margarine in the morning instead of pure butter.
I feel like the reason was money.
Yeah, money. And then it was him, it wasn't a computer algorithm, it was an advertising algorithm to make more money. And then the algorithm got better, then the algorithm turned into a computer and then continued to improve itself. So I think since like the 40s or 50s, when people were like, hey, you know what? We can just manipulate the shit out of these people. And then it was like, wait, we can also manipulate them to make them think a certain way about a country so we can invade that country. And then I just think it got out of hand. But with advertising specifically, it makes us compare ourselves to people so much and makes us feel like we're not enough so much that I think it all started there. If you have like a bot farm, but you can make it to where it looks like 100 people dislike your video, there's hundreds or thousands of these comments that are negative. And so that's kind of the bottom-up approach. It looks like everyday Joe and not a big government guy saying we need to lock ourselves in our house for 3 years. And but you're manufacturing artificial consensus, and that's the terrifying part. And if we keep the outcome in mind, would I open that app and spend 35 minutes scrolling if I'm not even with a human? What's the outcome I desire with my phone? It's definitely not doom scrolling for 45 minutes. So keeping the outcome in mind is a good way to ground yourself in reality, in my opinion.
These companies are metric-based for sure. They're looking at everything from, like you said, pauses to clicks, and they just start seeing a decrease and a decrease and a decrease. You think they would double down on what it is that they are trying to do?
No. I think the next phase is even more devious.